Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. Don't forget to loaf and lube. All right, so this week I'm continuing with our stories. This is one of my favorite old stories. There once was a musk deer that went to its granny and said, "Granny, there's this beautiful smell. Where's it coming from?" He said, "Oh, that smell? Maybe it's coming from the four-leggeds. Why don't you go check all the animals in the forest?" So the musk deer went out and smelled the badger and the antelope and the moose and the elk and so forth, but went back to the granny. "It's not coming from the four-leggeds." I said, very interesting. "Why don't you go to the lake and see if you can smell it from any of the animals that are the finned ones?" So the musk deer went to the lake, sniffed around. It wasn't a frog, it wasn't a salmon, it wasn't a catfish, it wasn't a pike. Went back and it's not coming from any of the fin. Why don't you go smell our feathered friends? If it's not in the furred and it's not in the fin, maybe it's with the feathered. So the deer went off and smelled the robin, smelled the crow, smelled the blackbird, and smelled the red-breasted cardinal. No, went back, "Granny, it's not there, not in the feathered one either." Said, "Why don't you smell your own belly button?" And the musk deer smelled and said, "It's coming from me. It's coming from me." Well, as you know, the answers lie within, according to Eastern philosophy. And the first thing in everything I think about, if it's true, to whatever degree, that your own thinking can make you sick, or certainly at least cast a negative pall on your experience and your interpretation of everything. So if illness then becomes a direct response to your thinking, why can't wellness also be a direct response to your thinking? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So if you keep this fact in your mind, that if you really want happiness and peace, learn to act in ways that's more likely to foster that and bring it about. And of course, yoga, as far as I'm concerned, is great because number one, you climb according to your capacity. Right? You're going to get back what you put in. And what I've learned, which I think is mimicking my teachers, I want to bring people along in a shorter time than it took me to get wherever I am, benefit from my experience. So then yoga is a fountain, an unending support of energy, clarity, tranquility, if you know how to make use of it. And then in a certain way, you end up revolutionizing your own world. And then to the extent that we're an interactive universe, you'll be helping the people around you as well. Now, every day I keep harping on, I hope that everyone has one way of spending time in silence, or at least shutting off the verbal mind, which means not on the computer, not on the cell phone, whether you sit and meditate, you want to call it mindfulness or silent reflection, or just being alive, paying attention to the ongoing process of what you can discover, this unending stream. And if you do that, hopefully you will tap into that part of you that feels free and fresh and new, and not even thinking about the past or the future, but completely grounded in the here and now. And of course, you'll remember things about the past in the moment. You'll anticipate things for the future in the moment, but reality is always now. So my advice is to plunge into it without boredom or excitement, and don't try to force anything that'll betray the natural spontaneity that everyone has when they're feeling relaxed and safe. And so the end of this is to what I would say is to build an enlightened society. And in order to do that, my teachers say, refuse to give up on anything and anyone. Never simply say that you're falling to pieces in a strange way, although there's so much to look at the world that's wrong, unjust. Don't even say that the world is falling to pieces. It is as it is. And it's up to us. Who else are you going to farm this out to? So that means you have to realize the potential that we all have for extending goodness into the world.